This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis, Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett, Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, and Jamie Milligan. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Arosa MG, Alex Sikora, and Steinem Leafsdaughter to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we're talking about Chapter 12 of Knife of Dreams.
That's right. Chapter 12 is a Manufactory.
Sure it is.
So we're here. We're making progress. We're getting through it.
You know what? It's funny because in our Q&A yesterday, before I had read this chapter, I was like, I'm surprised we're still with Matt.
Yeah.
And I was like, when are we going to leave that perspective? And then I went and picked up my book, and I was like, oh, right now.
Right now, and now you're sorry that you did.
No.
Okay.
This is fine. I like plot furthering.
Okay.
Yeah, I like jumping around.
That's true, and this was the plan that we had actually seen being created last time.
That's right.
More or less.
Mm-hmm.
But now we see it in action.
Yeah.
Plus some other crazy stuff, I guess.
I mean, like, one crazy thing.
Which, the bug thing?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one thing, or
That's
was there like
thing.
another thing?
No, that's the only crazy weird thing.
Okay.
That's a crazy, crazy thing.
Yeah, well, good news. I did my fun fact on it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, people exploding into bugs.
Ah.
Turns out, it's a thing.
Oh,
I'm just joking. No, that's not what it is.
Ooh.
Okay. But
it's not about, like, bug eggs inside people, right?
No.
Because that's, like, the worst. That's my nightmare.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It actually kind of reminded me of that scene from The Mummy.
I never saw that.
Brendan Fraser, where it's like the scarab goes into the skin and it's like,
Nope,
okay.
Gross. That's probably why I never saw it.
Fair. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, so this fun fact is on the borer beetle. Because we did get the
guy... see, I don't want to...
No, you're going to want to hear this.
No, I'm going to close my ears and let everyone else listen to this.
You're going to close your ears.
No, thank you.
Okay. The point is...
This is going to be the worst.
Like, Perrin sees the guy throw up a bunch of bugs and then basically deflate. We'll talk about it when we get there. But yeah. Perrin's like, no, guys.
Wife.
It's cool.
We need to save my wife.
You don't worry about it because they're just bugs. They're just beetles. They're regular old borer beetles. Mm-hmm. And he says they're common anywhere you can find fallen timber. So I did a little bit of digging, and then I went down a bit of a rabbit hole on the internet. So
gross.
Here we go.
Okay.
It's not gross information, though. It's actually kind of cool.
It's not like bugs that
No.
burrow
Just
into
stop
skin?
trying to guess. Stop trying to guess. Just let me say the things that I'm going to say. So, borer beetles, or wood-boring beetles, are terms that encompass lots of families and species of beetles and larvae that eat and destroy wood, and they're actually very important in the decomposition of wood and trees in forest ecosystems. But one of the most species-rich families of wood-boring beetles are bark beetles, but bark beetles, turns out, they're just weevils.
I was actually going to ask if these are weevils.
Boom. Weevils again.
Yeah.
Just more weevils.
Not again.
Still, more.
No, not again. This is the same. We're eating weevils, and now we're throwing them up.
That's what again means. That's again.
No, it's still.
It's still going on.
But that's what I wanted to talk about. That was my note. That was my prediction.
Like weevils?
I wanted to ask you how close these beetles were to weevils, because it's the return of the evil weevils.
Yeah, basically more or less the same thing. I'm sure that's not 100% accurate according to like bugs.
Oh my gosh.
Because there's lots of families and species and stuff. But anyways,
well, yeah, you're stealing all this stuff that I was going to like...
It gets better, though.
Be like, wow, look what I figured out.
Yeah. So I figured it out first, so I'm taking the credit.
Shoot.
But it gets better. So I dug a little bit more into the different types of borer beetles, and one of the best-known borers is called the Death Watch beetle.
No.
Whoa. Okay, Now let's go down the rabbit hole a little bit further. Death Watch beetle, Death Watch guards.
Yeah, I got it.
Right? The Shanshin.
Yeah.
Okay. What do the Shanshin helmets look like?
Bugs.
Beetles with the little plumes and feelers.
Uh-huh.
Right? And according to superstition, because there's a lot of superstition around Death Watch beetles, the sound of a Death Watch beetle means an approaching death. And it's the tapping sound of the Death Watch beetle that's considered a harbinger of death.
Oh my gosh.
Holy moly. Holy moly. And apparently the name's derived from the belief that it's often heard by people like on watch with an ill person, so they'd make like a tapping sound in the wood, but it turns out it's just a mating call, so it's not actually spooky. It's just when you're really quiet, you can hear the boring beetles, doing the mating calls in the wood.
Okay.
But Deathwatch Guard, come on.
Sure.
Deathwatch Beetle,
Why not?
Shanshin, it all connects.
You know what?
I'm not sure how.
You did try to make a circle of that one.
But it's all there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll move on from that, I guess, until we get there.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
So chapter 12 is called A Manufactory. Sure, I guess. Because I'm used to, like, manufacturing, which is different than this word.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Chapter symbols the wolf, because we're moving on to Perrin.
Yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah. Now, Perrin is riding towards some town.
Yeah, the town of Almazar.
Right, some town in Amadicia. And it's pretty clear that his plan with the Shanshin here to try and get the fork root is underway.
Yeah, we skipped all the back stuff of what happened between
I feel like we skipped very little back stuff. Are you joking?
We hear about that the 3 days.
I don't think we really skipped really anything at all.
We weren't in his head for the 3 days that it took to get here. So.
No, and I thought we were going to be right at this manufacturing place. No, because
the approach.
You're like, we skipped. No, because now first we have to go do another errand.
Yeah. Well, if you just showed up at the manufactory, how would you know how we got there? Like, you wouldn't know anything. You'd just be like, what is this place? You'd be so confused. So he's doing you a favor.
Okay. Well, that's fine, I guess. Anyway, so we're going to get a whole lot of description. This chapter is actually quite long compared to how little actually happens.
Okay, yeah.
So we get first an entire description of what Perrin is wearing and why. And then also why he hasn't dressed like this in the past. So that's fun.
Yeah. Nice little wolf pin, 2-head wolf pin.
That's the thing.
That's the fancy bit.
Right. Now, Perrin also sees a bunch of tinker caravans around, and then he almost wishes that he brought Aram along, because he's like, maybe if they could,
this we gotta talk about.
If he could spend some time with the tinkers, he'd realize he should just, like, go back to them.
Yeah.
And get off my back.
It's kind of crazy, because, like, Perrin's thoughts on Aram here is like, you want him to visit the tinker caravan, and you think that that's going to change his mind, and you think they're going to accept him back. Like, he literally got disowned by his grandparents. Like,
yeah.
He's out. Like, I don't know that you can go back in.
No.
I don't know if there's a way back.
There might be.
I mean, maybe, but...
Maybe with, like, a different caravan.
Maybe. Like, hey, I got... And then lie completely about the... what's happened to you.
Right, and the fact that he's, like, so eager to do lots of violence.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, there's some issues here.
Mm-hmm.
And then Perrin tries to, like, take responsibility, sort of, but then not actually be responsible.
You're right. He's like, well, I pretty much encouraged him to pick up a sword, and now I really hate him following me around.
Mm-hmm. Terrible situation.
Yeah. And now the Shanshin Banner General lady.
Yeah, so that's Tylee.
Okay. Right, because she's going to ask about the Tinkers, because she knows of their, like, reputation of being these great thieves.
Yeah, that's the one rumor that goes around for them all the time.
Right, and now we get that Nield Grady, right? That's his name? No,
that's the
different.
that's the other guy.
The other guy.
There's Nield and Grady. Yeah, Nield's one of the Asherman, yeah.
Right, whatever.
So that's the guy. He's here. He's like,
Okay. So he basically laughs and is like, no, they could barely steal a chicken, but they're just gonna, like, run away.
Yeah, he kind of calls them out and he's like, thieving would require courage and tinkers don't have any courage.
Yeah.
And that's important because Perrin kind of calls them out for that.
Well, sort of.
Sort of, like, in a way.
Which is interesting because Perrin also really disagrees with their way of life also.
Yeah, or he did. I feel like Perrin's had some, like, he gets why.
Yeah.
But also from the very beginning, he's like, that is a luxury that most people don't have.
Yeah. And he also ends up telling a story about the Battle of the Two Rivers when the Tinkers were prepared to run away with the children when the Trollocs attacked.
Yeah, like they were ready to strap them to their backs and get going.
And all that really does is make Tylee even more interested in Perrin and his story.
Yeah. It's actually really funny because he's so depressing to talk to. Like, Perrin's the worst. Tylee's like, hey, your story could be a book.
Yeah.
And he's like, I wish my life was ordinary.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, an awkward silence.
So Eeyore. Well, no, because then whoever she's with, like...
Mishima.
Mishima.
Yeah.
Is like, yeah, I wish I could see a Trolloc once.
Yeah,
because he doesn't believe in them.
But
right?
then Perrin's like, no, you don't. And
Yeah.
then Mishima's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's bringing down the good time everybody's having right now on this little journey.
How could you ever have a good time when your wife is
Where's
missing?
my wife? Exactly, right?
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't do it. I'd like to see you have a good time when I'm missing.
Well, you know.
Hey!
Depends who I'm with. Yeah, if it's...
Oh my god, I can't even believe you right now. No, I'm a captive. I've been stolen.
Sure.
There's no way you're having a good time.
Yeah. I'll just remember back to all the times I tried to tell you awesome fun facts about beetles, and you were like, no.
And you'll be fine?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thanks. You won't even try to rescue me.
Yeah. We actually get like a 3-day recap here, too, within this little conversation about what happened over those 3 days. And it was annoying for everybody. And it's a very tenuous relationship. Like, it's a little bit stressful.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's on eggshells.
Everyone's annoyed with Perrin?
Well, no, like, Perrin's annoyed with the Shanshan. The Shanshan are like, oh, you know, we got to come up with the plan, but we don't necessarily want to use your plan, but then they end up using Perrin's plan. It's a whole thing. It's not that important.
Okay. Well, now we're going to head into the town.
Yep.
And we get that Balrus here, but he's going to leave.
Yeah, with one of the Chafail.
To, quote, visit a friend because he's super obsessed with the White Cloaks and Amadicia.
Yes. Well, you know, we know why. We know. Yeah, and keep in mind, too, that was a cover story that Perrin and them came up with so that the Bulwark could, like, go off and the Shanshan wouldn't be curious about it too much. It's like, that's your backstory is, a friend?
Yeah. Because
there's even a half-a-page conversation like, oh, interesting that you're going to go visit a friend. And Perrin's like, yep.
Yeah.
We're nice to servants.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very awkward conversation.
Oh, yeah, because they came up with the wrong story about the friend is an old servant of a friend or something.
Yeah, and they're like,
it's like, why would you... And especially because Shanshan are like, well, that's not a person.
Yeah.
What?
Well, and then Perrin makes the backhanded comment. It's like, oh, we're nice to our servants.
We're not like you.
Yeah, and it's like, maybe we shouldn't antagonize each other when we're trying to...
But I'm fine with that. They need to be cut down a little bit.
Yeah, I get why, but
it's like... all the things that Perrin says, I'm like, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Now, we get to our first location.
No, whoa. You're trying to jump.
There's literally nothing else to talk about.
There's a little bit. Number one, there's a whole field of the raken.
Well, that's our first location.
But they see it first.
Yeah, but that's our first location. That's where we're getting to. That's why I was going to talk about it.
I felt like you were trying. Did you skip the whole? It's been 51 days.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't skip that.
Okay, fine. I won't skip that. Is that all?
The flash of colors. That's actually important too.
Right, with Matt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can't believe you skipped. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I did miss that.
Okay.
You're right. So we get that Matt and a group of people are turning off of a road and traveling.
Yeah, into like a forest, and it's Matt and a bunch of people.
Good.
Perrin doesn't know who, but that is basically confirmation.
Yes.
That Matt and the crew left.
Right.
The
and
circus.
so, you know what I appreciate about this is that even though we're not in a Matt perspective, we get furthering of the Matt plotline.
Yeah.
And I only wish the same could be said for Matt's vision of Rand.
We did get advancement of plotline.
Of them doing it?
That's advancement of plotline.
No, it is not.
Are you kidding me?
They just are sitting still doing nothing.
They're doing it standing up. They're doing it on the bed. Like, it's advancement of plotline.
No, it is absolutely the opposite of that. It's the opposite of that.
Okay, all right.
So, not interesting things.
Sure.
Well, actually, some people probably find that very interesting.
Right? I mean, it's not no igloo, but
it's not no igloo, but okay. Anyway, I just thought that was a funny thing where it's like this is a legitimate thing that Matt's doing, and we're like, oh,
it's good.
And instead of seeing Rand doing something, going somewhere, talking to somebody, no, having sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Perrin also hates all the colors, and every time it happens in this chapter, which is several, he brushes it away and doesn't even care.
Yeah. I mean, he's done that the entire time File's been gone.
Now he's getting really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we get to the field.
Now we do, yes.
That's been cleared out for raken, and we get a really, really detailed description of the raken. I think more detailed than we've had in the past.
Yeah, well, Perrin's never really been this close to them before, I guess.
I don't know if anyone has, or if they have, they haven't really described them, because I envision like a dragon.
Sure.
Because they're just like these flying lizard things with like bat wings.
Yeah.
But the way it's described here...
Not that cool.
...is not.
Yeah.
It's, like, weird and ugly.
It's kind of... It's like like a real lizard.
It's like an ostrich. Doesn't it have, like, 2 legs?
Well, it's like the legs and it's like the wings.
Yeah, but it only has 2 legs, right?
Well, that would make sense. So
I didn't know that.
Well, it'd be more like a... Yeah.
I only got it from this description here.
Well, I mean, then we're going into...
And it has like a long neck. Like, it looks like a weird bird, I think. More than, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about, like, what kind of dragon, or is more like a wyvern, or like a... There's different... Because the dragons with the 4 legs and the 2 wings doesn't really make sense, because that's like 6 limbs. It doesn't really work out well.
Okay.
So it's like 2 legs and 2 wings, right? Like a bat.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, there's different...
Yeah.
Different ways to look at that.
Yeah, I really was thrown off by this description, and I'm choosing to ignore this description.
You know what?
And I'm just going ahead with what I pictured
Mini
originally.
dragons. That's pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Like How to Train Your Dragon dragons.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
If you want to... Yes. What's his name?
Toothless?
Toothless. Yeah, if you want to just imagine that, I'm okay
That's
with that.
what I do.
It doesn't actually affect really anything for me.
Good.
It's a bunch of little toothless flying
I wouldn't
around.
really care if it did affect you. Because...
It's whether I'm going to correct you every time or not.
Well, I
so.
mean, like, go ahead if you want, but it's not changing.
Yeah. It's kind of like the whole traveling thing for me.
Set in stone.
They're round doorways. It's just it's
not
squares, not any... It's...
You know, we did have this discussion not too long ago, and I picture, like, an arched doorway.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely not that.
Yeah,
that's the most wrong. So...
I think if it's not exactly what's described, they're all wrong.
Yeah. All right, now we're at the farmhouse where we have the conversation, right?
Okay.
We got to get there.
So, something's wrong here because there are way less raken here than there should be.
Yeah. Well, we kind of know why. We actually heard that there was
is that the whole Ideralda thing where Suroth demanded that they take the raken elsewhere?
Yeah, well, there's like some sort of secret side mission going on with a bunch of the raken, and we don't necessarily know if it is.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, a bunch of raken got sent off. We don't 100% know why.
Was that the Suroth thing or no different?
It had something to do with it, possibly. Yeah, that was like a part of it. So, but
You're
we don't.
Being so weird and cryptic right now. Just say yes or no.
I'm not gonna say yes. I never say yes or no. From what we know, that definitely was probably maybe part of it at least.
Because she was like, send all the raken over there.
Yeah, and which was Ideralda's plan.
Ideralda wanted that to happen?
Yeah, like he wants to be chased.
By all the raken?
Not the raken necessarily, but by the Shanshan in general.
Yeah.
Like he wants to be chased. That's his entire...
I don't think he knows that all the raken are going after him.
Well, not all the raken are going. It's just at least half.
Okay, well,
most.
Suroth wanted all of them.
Yeah, so... Anyways, but that's kind of the point right now is...
Okay, that's what I thought was happening here. If anything else is, I don't remember it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
It's good enough. You've gotten it close enough that's good.
Okay. All right, but now we're going to get to the, I guess, second location? Or...
Well, the farmhouse is basically part of...
The first location? Because I thought the field was a location, and then it turns out it's not.
Yeah, well, the farmhouse is the reason why we have the field.
The farmhouse is the location.
It's
the
all
one.
Stuff.
It's all
yeah.
one location. Okay,
Yeah.
So we're at the farmhouse, and then Tylee announces herself, and then some guy hustles to go get the person in charge, and we get that a bunch of people here are, like, coughing.
Yeah, well, one guy in particular.
One guy in particular is doing, like, a lot of coughing.
Yeah.
And that's the guy who's gonna
turn into
meet
beetles.
his end.
Yeah.
Pretty
Well, it's kind of
soon.
funny because Mishima's really curious about, like, the sick days that they all have access to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah.
Why is this guy at work?
This guy's sick. He
Yeah.
should go home.
Exactly.
Shouldn't be here. There's all sorts of crazy stories about strange sicknesses and people dying. You're going crazy. Our whole village is dropping dead.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
Tylee's like, don't listen to rumors.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah. And then this is when suddenly...
It's really good timing.
yeah. Coffee McGee is going to throw up. And when it hits the floor, it breaks up into a bajillion million little black beetles that
Awesome.
start scurrying everywhere.
Yeah. I love the first reaction because the first reaction to him puking and then beetles exploding everywhere is like everyone just like stares.
They're like,
and,
wait,
oh
what?
my goodness.
Gross. Yeah. Okay. Now, do you really want to know my very first thought when I read about somebody throwing up beetles?
Was it weevils?
Nope. Well, like, that was my second thought.
Okay, what was the first one? I don't know.
Pretty similar to somebody throwing up slugs.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, that was Ron.
Yeah.
Ron did it.
Ron did it.
To himself?
Yeah.
Because the broken wand.
Backfired.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go. Okay.
Mhm.
I got it.
Good for you.
Good for me.
Yeah, you do know stuff. But yeah, that's literally the first thought I had.
Yeah,
but then, like,
this is much worse.
But when it progresses,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, not the same.
Less so.
Similar.
Yeah.
But that's the thought I had.
Okay, well that's...
Throwing up bugs and
good.
slugs and stuff.
Yeah. It's like the PG version.
The slugs?
Yeah.
Where Ron doesn't die.
Where he doesn't deflate and...
Die.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Would have made for a much more interesting book 2 in Harry Potter.
Ron just dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, gross.
Okay.
Well, got our shots.
Yeah, okay.
Slugs and beetles.
Slugs and beetles, and pour one out for Coffee McGee.
Oh my gosh.
He died.
Oh my god.
To be fair, he deflated and then he died.
Oh, I think he was like in the... Hold on.
Or maybe... was he bugs the whole time?
That's what I was going to say. Like
Right?
a Men in Black situation.
Oh, okay.
Like made of bugs.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that guy has bugs coming out of him all the time.
That's true. Makes sense.
If I remember that movie correctly, that I probably haven't seen in like a decade.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was one big bug, and then like...
Yeah, but he had a bunch of bugs.
He liked to keep bugs with him, because,
Because bugs.
he's a big mama jama,
Yeah.
and they just like to hang out with him, so...
Yeah. Okay, so the rest of this scene...
It's absolutely crazy.
is everyone staring at this guy like, what the flip is happening right now? And then this guy just keeps throwing up streams of beetles. And then there's tiny little beetles everywhere. And then everyone's leaping around trying to avoid them. And Perrin's like, who cares? And he steps on them.
Well, yeah, after the guy finally dies, and he's not throwing up anymore.
Okay.
And then people are screaming and jumping around, and
Right.
then Perrin's like, hey, they're just regular borer beetles.
They're just beetles. You can find them anywhere on old timber. And then everyone's like,
It's like,
yeah, but they didn't come from any timber. This is the dark one.
it's like,
and Perrin's
you just died.
Perrin's like, probably. It probably is the dark one. But you know what I don't care about right now? This.
Yeah. Where's my wife?
I got
But it's like, seriously, he's so insensitive. Like, the
So
dude just
crazy.
died in front, like horribly.
This is nuts. This
It's
is
crazy.
crazy.
He's having a bad reaction to this.
He
Perrin's
really
doing
is.
a bad job.
Okay, but here's my theory. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, so my theory was, well, first I was going to ask you, do you think these are weevils? And you already answered that.
Yeah.
So, if these are weevils, do we think that eating the weevils in the grain
Okay.
puts the weevils in your body, and because they're evil weevils,
Sure.
then they get you from the inside?
I mean, your logic is like airtight here, so I mean, I'm gonna have to say, yeah. Makes sense.
Like, why else would there be dark one weevils
Sure.
all in the grain
Sure.
if the plan wasn't
Yep.
to make people
Explode
bugs
into
from the inside out?
Totally. I love it. It makes sense.
Well, what else? What else is there?
There is nothing else. That's what I'm saying.
You sound super
I have
sarcastic.
I have no counter
Are you
argument.
being serious? You like my logic?
I mean, how many more people do you think are going to explode into bugs?
I know, that's the issue. 1 in 500.
Okay.
That's
Again,
how many people.
I don't have many ways to track this, but like
Mhm.
we can do our best.
I mean, and we might not see it happening, you know?
But we can assume that behind the scenes,
More
it's
are.
happening.
Oh, yeah. So the people who eat the most weevils
Right. People who are like, I don't even care.
don't even care. It's protein, just eating straight weevils.
Sure.
Especially
Spoonfuls.
spoonfuls of weevils. Disgusting.
Now I bet you're happy that Perrin was doing the winnowing of the weevils from the wheat on
I
the something
By the
Wiverbank.
Riverbank. No.
What was that? What was that thing we came up with? I don't know.
I have no idea. You came up with it. You made me say it. I don't even remember.
Okay, anyways.
Oh, man. But the thing I'm concerned about is Egwene.
Sure.
We know that she was eating weevils.
She picked them out, but then she did eat some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I
Well-
think probably not enough. I think this guy probably ate a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That's the theory. It's pretty sound, I think. Now, we're here to get down to business, Brett.
Right. Never
Stop.
mind this deflated bug guy.
Yeah.
He really blows past
Because
it.
now he's just like a weird skin suit in clothes
Yeah.
on the floor. Like no bones.
Yeah. He was just
He
bugs.
was just bugs
He was
all-
just bugs.
in the skin suit.
Yeah.
Which is very Men in Black, by the way.
It is,
Okay.
sure, yeah.
So, we're gonna go meet the captain now?
Yeah, like the captain that runs this place.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. So, Tylee is like, hey, listen, we're gonna need a bunch of your raken.
Yeah.
And we need them now.
Yeah, so 6 raken and then 18 of the flyers.
Okay. And the captain's like,
No.
No, you can't have that.
Too many. I don't have that many.
Right. So then we're going to cut it down, and we're going to ask for 4 raken and 12 flyers, and then we show the order from Suroth.
It's very dramatic.
And the captain doesn't even question it.
Yeah. Well, Tylee is calling Perrin forward to show the order.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not like even Tylee took it, and it's like, I'll show it to them because I'm Shanshan.
No. Yeah.
It kind of would make a little bit more sense, possibly.
No, it does not make sense, because in terms of the way Shanshan see rank and everything like that, Tylee would never take that from Perrin.
Sure.
It's Perrin's, and it's from Suroth, and she doesn't even know how he got it.
Might make more sense to have an unknown person factor into it. It's like, oh, what's going on here?
Well, yeah, sort of, I guess. I think that it's more, it comes down to their own ethics and their own moral code.
Yeah, okay, I get that too. Yeah. Anyways, that's the order. Yeah. It works, because he's like, hey, I'm not going to question this.
Okay.
And he doesn't question it.
And then Tylee's like, well, I understand if you don't have this, but can I have some maps of Eltara?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I got it right here.
Not only does he have the maps, he has the
best map.
Best maps.
That any map maker would be like, whoa, that's a great map.
Yeah, exactly.
And Perrin's like, Taviran? No.
Couldn't be.
Impossible.
Then who? It's like, no, man, it's you.
Could never. Not me. Not Taviran.
Yeah, it's like, I'm 80% sure that's 100% sure how that works. Like,
yes.
That's how it goes, man. It's like, you get the stuff you need when you need it. Which, like, do we need it? Because we know what we know where this...
You know what I need?
What?
This map.
You want the best map ever?
No, I want just a map of Eltara with the villages and stuff, and then maybe like a green dotted line or something where people are traveling and where they're going. And
okay.
Because when I looked at the map, I was actually surprised to see Amadicia way to the west of Abudar. I don't know what my brain thought.
Yeah.
I guess I haven't really
studied that map more.
Yeah, not great.
Okay.
So I was like, how close are they to Matt? Not close.
Yeah.
No.
No.
So I need a map. I need this map. I've been talking about it.
Yeah. You're not going to get it. It's not a thing.
Well, I want it.
Anyways,
do you think it exists?
You know what Perrin wants?
It exists, I just can't see it?
Perrin wants carts.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, well, no, it doesn't exist. It's not a thing.
Well, it should.
Okay. So, Perrin wants carts, not wagons, because they can't make gateways big enough to fit wagons, so we gotta go with carts.
Right.
And the captain's like, yeah, I got you.
Right. But not without giving Perrin a kind of questioning look, and then, like, schooling his face.
Yeah. Well, there's also the whole, like, yellow eyes thing. Like, ooh.
So much.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so now we got the raken stuff.
That's one of the issues we have to handle.
Okay, now, what
there's technically
does
3.
Perrin need from the raken, like, on carts? I'm just confused. What are they getting here?
So this is mostly for Tylee. So she wants raken so they can scout out the Shido because they're going to launch an assault on the Shido in whichever way. Okay. So she wants the flyers because that's the primary way to Shanshan scout.
Okay.
So Perrin doesn't necessarily care, but she needs them and troops because she also asked for like a bunch of troops. And she's like, hey, all my people are out west or whatever, and I can't get to them, so I'm going to need new people. So all those people plus the supplies, and that's also why she wants maps, so she can tell the guy where to send the people.
Okay.
So she's like collecting stuff. So this is a little bit to do with...
more than just the raken and...
Okay. Yeah, and then there's like some troop stuff situation going on.
Right, because I was like, what are they going to do? Put the raken in carts? I was like, what does he need in carts?
Have you seen them walk?
Yeah.
It's terrible. When they're not flying, you can't do it.
Oh, man. Okay, so they're going to leave.
Yes, yeah.
And things are a little crazy out here because the body of the deflated bug guy...
Yeah, they brought it out.
in like a blanket, though?
Yeah, but it's still like, oh, here's the deflated bug guy.
Yeah, and then Perrin gives a super motivational speech and tells everyone to shut it. Because, the man threw up beetles and then died, but they were just regular, and it has nothing to do with fighting Fail. So shut it. And get on with the business.
And then he's like, I can't believe that worked, because they're all just like, okay, I guess so.
Well, and then Tylee, like, kind of, is like...
That's a demotivational speech. That's what...
That was bad.
Anti-motivational?
Anti-motivational, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not motivational.
The way this entire scene is handled is so bizarre. Like, Perrin's reaction to this entire...
Well, you know what it reminds me of? Perrin with the ghosts. He's like, I don't care about your stupid ghosts. I'm gonna find my wife.
That's actually true. That's a good point.
He's like, so what? Your whole village is haunted and everyone's going crazy.
You know who doesn't care? Me.
This guy. Tino has 2 thumbs and doesn't care. You missed that.
Right. Anyways, that's Perrin's general attitude right now.
Towards everything all the time. I wonder if one day he'll look back and be like,
I handle that badly.
Yeah. Probably not. No, because that would take reflection, and we don't have any of that here.
He's focusing on the number one thing, which is Fael. So,
which I mean, fair, but also this, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we're gonna learn that his letter from Suroth is gonna be put to the test for real.
Yes, because again, we have 3 jobs. 1 is to get the raken stuff.
Yeah.
2 is to get the Adam, which we don't actually see here.
Right.
And then the 3rd is to do the fork root situation.
I know, the Adam thing bothers me.
Because the whole, collaring Shido
Are we
Wise
gonna
ones?
color all the Shadow Wise ones? Is that what's happening
Well,
here?
not this chapter, we're not. So, I mean,
because, I thought we were just fork rooting them so we could get in and get Fael and leave.
Well, that's Perrin's job. That's what Perrin wants to do.
But now
what Ty Lee wants to do is capture all the Marith Damani.
Ugh.
So, I mean...
Oh, God, I hate this so much.
Okay.
This makes me feel mad.
Yeah.
And bad?
Mad and bad.
And terrible. I didn't really think about that while I was reading. I was like, that's weird.
I feel like we've talked about this every time it comes up, though.
Yeah, no, we haven't talked about the fact that they're going to be captured and collared.
I'm pretty sure we have.
No, it never sunk with me.
Okay.
I never processed it like that.
Okay, but we definitely had It's recorded, so we could go back.
I know, but I feel like what I remember is that we mostly just talked about that it's uncomfortable that we're using the Shanshan to help us get rid of the Shido because we don't like either groups.
Sure.
And using fork root on all of the Shido Wise ones is okay, that's a fine plan, I guess, to get Fael out. But I don't want them to be collared. Okay. I don't want anybody to be collared.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you. Because, number one plan is get Fael out, so... He even negotiated, was like, hey, you can have anybody except for my people. And they're like, okay. We had that conversation.
I know, I feel like I decided to miss that.
Perrin was like, you can have everybody else.
I don't like any of this.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Sure.
Because now I'm really understanding.
You get the weight of it. Maybe it won't go as well as the Shanshan thing. It's not...
Yeah, because we don't have the Adam yet.
Yeah. And none of the rest of the plan has gone through yet. And, the Aiel know how to fight, so it's not a guaranteed victory for the Shanshan by any means.
Yeah, even if they're all fork-rooted, that doesn't necessarily
You still got, 100,000 Aiel to get past here, so good luck.
I just think that's not going to happen like that.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Okay.
Anyway, it feels bad.
Yeah.
So... let's get on with getting the fork root.
Yes, because that's the real test, because the whole note worked on the captain, but he's a soldier and he's going to listen, but now they have to go and pull strings with an Imperial functionary.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's the craziest title I ever heard.
It's pretty crazy.
Sounds like something from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Imperial,
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Alright, so... on the way to the next location, we get a fun little conversation about the Horn of Valir.
Again.
Which is so super useless and doesn't matter and it doesn't even need to happen.
But it's kind of funny. I'm going to make a note of it because we had the exact same conversation, sort of, between Tuon and Matt.
Mm-hmm.
They also brought it up, the Horn of Valir, to Matt, right now, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then with Perrin. I feel like Perrin plays it off a lot better.
Yeah.
Because Mishima's like, hey, I've heard that the Horn of Valir has been found already. What do you think? And Perrin's like, I've heard that too. Lots of rumors are going around.
Lots of rumors, yeah.
But he doesn't... Oh, and Matt, I feel, handled it terribly because he was
Matt
like, whoa, what?
What's the Horn of Valir? Never heard of that.
I certainly have never blown it.
Yeah, I know.
He wasn't that bad, but you get the point.
Yeah.
But I just have to mention, so keep in mind that Turak knew that the horn was found.
Yes.
Because Fane brought it to him.
Yeah.
And then Turak said, I'm not going to use it. This is a wonderful gift for the Empire or whatever. So, legit, he might have sent word to the Empire hey, I have the Horn of Valir, super important. So it's very possible that Tuon actually knows that the Horn of Valyr's been found and Turek had it at some point.
Right.
And it could have been passed among the ranks. Like, there's a real possibility that some of the Shansha know the Horn of Valyr, it's out. Like, we got it.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I got for it,
okay.
so.
All right, so we're going to get to the place of the next meeting, which is like some old horse stable.
Yeah, it's been converted or whatever.
And now Tylee is prepping Perrin on how not to fuck this up.
Basically, don't say anything.
Just don't say words.
Don't say words.
Although, the other thing is, if you are going to say words, address me.
Yeah.
And make it clear you're talking to me and not this other person. Which, later, Perrin does listen to. He listens to those instructions.
Interesting, okay.
He does.
Well, he talks. That was breaking rule number 1.
No, well, yeah. But then if you're going to break rule number 1, he doesn't break rule 2. He specifically says Banner General when he starts speaking.
I mean, that's something.
He does it.
That's
and
something.
It works later.
He gets half points.
Okay, but what I want to talk about before we go in is that Tylee does something before she goes in.
Okay.
Perrin thinks about how she's stealing herself.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that meant.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what that means?
I mean, generally, but give me a definition.
Okay, so steal, Steel.
Yeah.
When you're stealing oneself means to mentally prepare to do or face something difficult.
Yeah. You can see it's like taking a half a second to collect myself and be like, okay, you could do it, Brett, but like internally wise.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I looked it up.
Yeah.
So now they're going to go in. Tylee does her formal introductions, asks to speak to whoever's in charge, and then they have to wait so long for this meeting.
A whole roughly 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a quarter of an hour. So, I mean, technically it could be like...
Well, it depends, yeah.
Depends how long an hour is, I guess, but it's basically 15 minutes. And Perrin is very impatient.
Oh yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe we have to wait so long.
Because you know who's missing? His wife.
His wife. Okay, and this meeting is a lot more formal.
Yeah.
And this person is called Honorable.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because we've been watching Downton Abbey, and in the last episode they call someone Honorable.
The Right Honorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's like you're not...
It's a title.
But it's not as high up as like the lady or whatever. It's like lesser, and we get a whole explanation that it's basically like a lesser.
It's so weird, and I skimmed over that entire thing.
Yeah, no, but it fits.
Yeah, because there's different ranks and stuff.
Different rankings. So RJ did an appropriate title for the rankings of this person.
Okay.
And he didn't just make it up, like it's an actual thing.
All right. And then we're going to get a bunch of information on this fork root operation.
Yeah. They have 4,873 pounds and 9 ounces, which is a lot considering they've shipped a lot of it off already.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And now this honorable lady is so freaking proud of herself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if I might be candid with you, I think I might even be offered a new name.
Very exciting. Very
but
exciting.
I might not even accept it.
Right, of course. Well, you have to be modest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do get an explanation that she's gotten local farmers to plant it in the fields now.
Yeah.
So they have a whole operation going on.
Clearly,
here.
yeah.
I think we had a conversation on like what the possibilities would be.
Yeah, I think I said greenhouses, but same thing. Yep.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like they use the power with the money, but I mean, hypothetically, that could be pretty cool too.
Yeah, no, I think it was Kaylee on YouTube who commented on one of our episodes where we talked about that. Where she was like, oh my gosh, using the power to make fork root seems paradoxical. Like it seems,
that's true. Yeah. A little bit crazy.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem like they're using it right now.
No.
Because we got the braziers, and we've got the drying station, and the crushing station, and the muddlers. And
I mean, when you own all the farmland and you can tell any farmer to just plant the crop, like...
but like even the drying it, and then the crushing it, and the bagging it, all seems manual right now.
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. All right. Now... Finally, Tylee's like, we're gonna need all the fork root.
Yeah. Well, they show the letter.
Oh, they show the letter first?
They do, which is a little bit back, because they show the letter, and then she's like, okay, what are you asking me for? And then Tylee's like, all the fork root.
Right, that is the order, yeah.
It's like a little bit backwards.
That's right. And all the tea.
Yeah.
Okay, so... This lady, even though she's already seen this letter, immediately is like, no way, no how, impossible, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
The Suldam need it to get all the Marath Damani in the whole world.
Yeah, they're scooping them up all over the place right now, which is also very concerning.
Terrible, terrifying.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's really bad. And so Perrin does one thing he's definitely not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Which is talk.
He's talking.
But, like I said, he does it in the right way, and then it works out.
Yeah, it does.
So...
He didn't totally F it up. So.
No, not totally.
And then he lucks out. He Tavirans the shit out of this.
Because he says to Tylee, this may not interest Honorable, of course, but Suroth promised death and worse if there was any hindrance to her plans. I don't suppose her anger will go beyond you and me, but didn't she say to take it all? So just straight up lies.
Yep.
Straight up lies. And he's thinking quickly, and he thinks to himself about how he hates thinking quickly because it leads to mistakes.
Right.
So he has time to think about that.
He does.
But
maybe if he had thought anything else.
We get it. He's slow. We understand.
Yeah.
By now, we know.
I think there's like a background plot of him thinking, okay, how are we going to break in and steal all of it if she says no?
Yes, yeah.
He's also thinking that.
Yes, he is.
Start your plan now.
Yeah. He's like, I bet Bulwer... I almost called him Bowser. My brain almost just called Bulwer Bowser.
You know what? That works too.
Okay, so he's thinking, I bet Bulwer found a way to figure out if this place is guarded at nighttime. Like, he's definitely already thinking that.
Yeah, and I can tell you, yes, it is guarded.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially at nighttime.
Yes. All right, now, Tylee plays along only sort of, though, I noted, because she only says one sentence here, and it's not a lie.
Yeah, well, she's not, yeah, okay.
Like, I don't know how down she is for lying about Suroth.
Less so, yeah.
Than Perrin clearly is.
Well, it's way more risky for her, too.
Oh, way more. And so she says, oh no, of course the High Lady's anger wouldn't affect the Honorable.
Yeah.
Like, she just, like, straight up is like, no. So I don't even know how much she actually is playing along here.
Yeah.
But Perrin's words are effective enough.
Well, and she picks up on the fact, like, all the...
Yes.
What is it, innuendo, or I guess whatever you want to call it.
The subtleties.
She picks up on what's happening here and how the Honorable takes it. So.
Well, especially because Perrin used Suroth's name, and in this specific situation, using her name without the title means that Perrin is either a stupid, ignorant local person, or an intimate of Suroth herself.
He's a lover.
And not a lover.
Is that not what intimate means?
No, intimate just means somebody who's close to Suroth. Personal, like a personal friend.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't necessarily mean
all right, well, I learned something
a lover.
Today, then. Well, that makes it a lot funnier because now Perrin is Suroth's lover.
Oh, no.
That's what's happening here.
Oh,
there you go.
No.
Can't turn back.
No, I think the way she means it is just somebody, like a close, intimate friend.
Oh, okay.
Like a close, person.
Okay.
To call her by her name like this.
You know what? That works too.
Anyway, so the Honorable decides that Perrin is an intimate just because of this entire weird situation. And they get all of it.
Maybe that's Taviran too. Nope, couldn't
impossible.
Be. Yep. Excellent strategy. Okay.
All right.
Well, hey, it all worked out pretty well.
So they're going to get all the fork root. And you know what? If we're going to use fork root on anybody...
Oh, you're flip-flopping again.
No, but I'm just trying to see the light here. I'm trying to see the positives.
Sure.
And yeah, we're going to get Bail. And yeah, we're going to use it on the Shido Wise Ones, who, for the most part, suck.
Yeah.
Like, we know most of them suck. Maybe not all of them.
Yeah.
But a lot of them do. Maybe they won't end up getting collared in the end.
Okay.
But, listen.
Yeah, sure.
We have all of this fork root now that the Shanchen don't have.
That's true. We're taking away 5,000 pounds.
So it's not going out into the countryside for a bunch of little, innocent, 16-year-old village girls.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I do, yeah. If it's going to get used, at least it's getting used on the people we hate the most. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah?
That's how it's going to go.
That's ethics. Moral philosophy. Am I right? We've been watching The Good Place.
Yeah,
Can you tell? Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. I forgot that this second shocking thing happened.
Right. Of all the things that happened.
I was just super focused on Beetle Guy.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Okay, so they leave.
Yes, because they got everything.
Yeah, so they're like riding away through the town.
Yeah, because it's going to take, they said, all afternoon or whatever to get. So we should get it all. Everything's going to get cleared up today.
We should get it. And Perrin's like, I hope it doesn't take overnight.
Yeah.
But as they're riding through, Tylee is going to ask Perrin a question so shocking that he twists around in his saddle to stare at her.
Yeah. The question itself is kind of like, so she says, if the question does not offend, did your lady bring powerful connections or perhaps great lands?
Yeah. Like, why do you love her? Like, why do you like her so much?
Yeah, he's very focused. Like, what do we really... She's kind of taking the attitude of the wolves. It's like, couldn't you just find a different woman?
Couldn't you just get a new lady? Like, what's up with this one?
Yeah, why are we going through all this?
Right.
Maybe she has powerful connections or perhaps great lands.
Okay. Maybe. It's not either of those.
And he's like, that's my wife, as he turns.
And she's the most beautiful woman in the entire world.
You would know if you saw her. You recognize her immediately.
Immediately. You'd be like, oh my god, that's the most beautiful. Okay. Now, good thing.
Because he twists in his saddle dramatically.
And he normally wouldn't.
Yeah, but this was such a, oh my goodness
This was such
question.
a shocking question.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, something slices across his chest and punches into his arm. And then behind him, a horse squeals.
Yeah.
And he, looks down, and there's an arrow sticking out of his arm.
Yeah, and I guess the horse took one, too.
And I was like, oh, shit.
All right.
Oh, shit. Someone somewhere was a dark friend.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Well, orders are kill Matt and Perrin.
Orders are kill them.
There we go.
Yeah. Now, was it somebody we just met with? Maybe? Or is it a village person? Don't know.
What do you mean someone we just met with?
Maybe somebody who was in the operation. Who saw them walk through. Okay. Is it Shanchin or is it
Bugman? Bugman's dead.
No. No, I'm not thinking the captain person because they would recognize because they ended up seeing.
Yeah.
But my first thought was captain lady.
That's true too.
Because everybody's shocked by his eyes, but then that's unreliable Perrin narrator who's they're shocked by my eyes.
But someone might have recognized.
But it could be shocked by your eyes and also because of your description.
Yes.
And I'm a dark friend.
Yeah.
And I have orders to kill you.
You're right.
And so as soon as they leave, then it's whoop, I'm going to shoot up to this rooftop.
Exactly. No, I mean, that's a very good thought process.
Right. And now there's a super weird line that maybe you can help clear up for me. It's something about a Two Rivers arrow.
Oh, so he turns and one slices across it's deflected basically off of, and Perrin thinks a Two Rivers arrow wouldn't be deflected as well because they're better, heavier, shot harder. They're not the wimpy little arrows here.
So while he's currently shot in the arm, he's thinking about how Two Rivers arrows are better than these.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't a Two Rivers arrow. It's not
because that was my other question. I read it several times and I didn't quite understand.
Was this one of the Two Rivers guys trying to... No, not that.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like that. It seems like he's just having a thought.
It just seems so weird and out of place that...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, good thing he twisted in his saddle at the right moment because probably both arrows would have been put right through him and he'd be dead.
Right.
And then one of the Chafail breaks the arrow in Perrin's arm so we can pull it out.
Yeah. Tylee also sends Mishima off to go
That's right, to
the building. It was like, hey, up there, I saw movement. So that's
right.
happening in the background too.
Which is important to note that that's really good observation skills.
Yeah.
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 Now, Tylee starts to tell Perrin that she's super embarrassed that he's injured and feels shame.
Right.
And her eyes are lowered.
Perrin doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
You know what? Perrin doesn't really do a good job of understanding other people's cultures at all.
But he doesn't even try.
He doesn't try. He's like, I don't understand this eyes are lowered thing. It's like, if you put any thought into it, you could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
Even with Gaul and the Aiel, he really just doesn't get it, and he doesn't try to get it.
No, he doesn't care to.
Doesn't care. It's like, whatever, man.
He doesn't care to try.
Which is, either. Yeah. Also with his wife.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
I will never shout at you, even if you want me to.
I don't understand.
I don't understand. I don't care. I will never do that. Except for what I do when I'm really mad.
Right.
And then you're happy, and I don't get it.
I don't understand that either, but I'm not going to do it again. Okay.
All right. So, anyway, the arrow gets pulled out of his arm. It's actually not that bad a wound. Because, if this was some other side character, they'd probably bleed out and die or something.
But here's the thing, too. He also has an Ashaman who can heal him, so it's not actually a big deal.
No.
And he would get healed.
Except it hurts.
It hurts a little bit.
And it hurt.
It hurt real bad.
Yeah.
But Neil comes up to heal Perrin, and he's like, not here in front of everyone, so...
Because everybody in the town is all, like, stopping to look at what's going on.
So, like, we don't need to bring to attention the man who can channel. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
So he's going to be in pain for a little bit, but it's not actually a big deal.
Right, okay.
But, I mean, there is a big notable difference between the way Perrin feels about healing and someone like Matt, for example. Like, Perrin's like, a little hole in the arm. Let's get that fixed up real quick as soon as we can.
Yeah.
He's cool with being healed by the power. Matt had a building fall on him and has Aes Sedai who could heal him, but doesn't want healing, even though his hip is still messed up. Like, his hip still isn't good.
Yeah.
It's, like, better, but it's not 100%, and he just doesn't want anyone touching him with the power.
That's fair. He's been through a lot more with the power than Perrin has.
Yeah, that's true, too. But it's just,
trauma-wise.
Yeah, it's just the way people look at it. And healing. And that kind of comes up here, too. Because Tylee has that question for him.
Well, she's disgusted.
She's shocked. Is like, what? You would...
Shocked and appalled.
You would let him do that to you.
Use the one power on you? And Perrin's like, well, yeah.
If it means that I don't have a hole in my arm,
and
yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, oh.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, so then Mishima's gonna come back with news that 2 men with bows fell from the roof, and it wasn't the fall that killed them. It seems they took poison when they realized they failed to kill Perrin.
Mm-hmm.
And then Perrin's like, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Right.
And then Tylee's like,
actually, it does.
You for sure have enemies who want you dead and have orders to kill you from somebody who's super powerful.
Yeah, because like if they would rather kill themselves than report a failure... Then yeah, like someone's after you, man.
Yeah.
Perrin's like, I guess maybe the Forsaken.
But I'm not going to talk about it.
No.
I'm not going to tell anybody about that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, because he thinks maybe Mishima.
Yeah.
But then he's like,
it's not
no.
Mishima, man. It's like, it's probably Forsaken.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely Forsaken.
Yeah, you're a Ta'veren at the end of the world final battle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you have enemies.
Yeah, weird.
I don't get it.
What?
Why don't they like me?
Yeah. Maybe they were shooting at someone else.
Maybe. It's possible.
Nah. No, it's not, Perrin.
Okay, they're trying to kill that damn horse behind him.
Yeah. That guy.
That guy.
All right, well, I think that's all I can say about this chapter.
Yeah, we did. That's it. But
I don't have much.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like we talked about most of it.
Yeah, especially the most important part, Bug Guy.
Bug Guy, and then also collaring... Shadow Wise Ones.
Now you understand that that's the plan?
That's the plan.
Yep.
I guess. Because now they're on their way to get Idam or something?
Well, basically they have most of, if not all, the stuff that we're going to see. And then hopefully we're going to be seeing like some more movement. Like, let's go do this thing now.
Finally.
We got the stuff. Let's go do the thing.
Yeah, I would like that plan to be wrapped up.
Sure.
And I also, just for the record, in our Q&A said yesterday that I want Elaine and that plotline to be done.
Sure, I understand that. So, next episode, we're doing 2 chapters.
Yep.
13, 14.
Okay.
Episode after that, we're doing 2 chapters, 15, 16.
Okay.
And then we're back to 1.
All right. And should we announce a little bit of what we plan to do for season 2?
Sure.
For those people who are listening in real time.
Yes.
Like downloading and listening every week.
Yeah.
So, our plan is to not get burnt out like we did last season of this show.
Yeah.
Where we kept our regular podcast schedule. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to do a season 1 rewatch.
Yep.
And give the breakdown that we promised almost a year and a half ago.
Yes, right on time.
Right. And those are going to be released every Friday and Monday.
Yeah, starting right away.
Right away.
Yep.
So those are going to start coming out. And we'll also look into releasing our original first reaction episodes at the same time as well. So then that means our book episodes are going to be cut back to Tuesdays only.
Yes, so we won't do the every other Friday.
Right.
We're just going to do the every Tuesday episodes for the book stuff, and then you're going to get a flood of show content for the next, 2 months.
Right.
So you actually get more episodes.
Way more.
Way more episodes, but, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, but cut back a little bit on the book stuff. So we'll go slower through the books, but...
Yeah.
Faster through the show stuff.
Yeah.
So here we go.
It's an exciting time, so...
You know what? Let's just do it. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Let's have fun. All right, and now I have to say it, but I hate to. Before you go ahead and throw up a bunch of evil weevils, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett, produced by Dani and Brett, with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Charlie Haz, Adam, Marta Thier, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, and Eric Reed, with music by Audionautics. Please be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We would love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. You can find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses or how to join our Discord or how to get in touch with us, you can visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. Right now, we are offering to send exclusive merchandise to select people who give us 5-star reviews if you leave your username for Instagram or Twitter, and I'll reach out to you that way. Also, please be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.